Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Students, we are going to start a new lesson, Globes and Maps. Before we proceed with the lesson, I would like to ask you few questions. What is the shape of this pizza piece? Yes, it is a triangle. Now, what is the shape of this box? Yes, it is a cube. Children, can you tell me the shape of the earth? Is it round or flat or a sphere? In ancient times, people believed that the earth was flat and had steep edges. But in 1519, a famous and a skilled Portuguese explorer named Ferdinand Magellan sailed around the world and proved that the earth is round. Today, even satellite photographs also confirm that the earth is round. Our planet Earth is made of land and water. It is slightly tilted at an angle of 23.5 degree and has an imaginary line running through the middle called the axis. Now children, how can we study the earth? Yes, with help of a globe. To study the earth, we need its model. Now can you see the picture of a globe on the screen? A globe is the accurate model of the earth. It shows the distribution of the land and the water. We can also see the shape, size, and location of the continents and oceans on the globe. A globe is mounted on an axle so that it can be rotated. The point that is farthest north on the earth is called the North Pole. So children, can you see marked N is the North Pole. The point farthest south is called the South Pole. And the place where it is marked as S is the South Pole. To locate places on Earth, imaginary lines have been drawn on its surface by the geographers. Now children, can you see lines drawn on the globe? Yes, the horizontal lines are called as the latitudes and the vertical lines are called as longitudes. Latitudes, imaginary horizontal lines drawn parallel to the equator, are called latitudes. They are also called as parallels. Now children, what do you mean by the word parallels? It means the lines which do not meet each other at any point. Latitude tells us how far north or south a place is from the equator. Longitudes, the imaginary vertical lines that run from the North Pole to the South Pole, are called longitudes. They are also called meridians. So shall we say it once again? Latitudes, imaginary horizontal lines drawn parallel to the equator, are called latitudes. They are also called as parallels. And the longitudes, the imaginary vertical lines that run from the North Pole to the South Pole, are called longitudes. They are also called as meridians. Now children, can you see the picture on the screen? The horizontal lines are the latitudes and the vertical lines are the longitude. And latitudes and longitudes makes the Earth's grid. Any line drawn around the earth divides it into two equal halves called hemispheres. There are generally considered to be four hemispheres: northern, southern, eastern, and western. The equator divides the earth into northern and southern hemispheres. Children, can you see the red line? That is the equator. The earth can be divided into hemispheres along meridians into eastern and western hemispheres. Now children, can you see the meridian marked on the diagram? Yes, that is a longitude. That is a vertical line, imaginary line drawn on the globe, and it is dividing the earth into two halves, that is eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. Now let's draw some of the latitudes, and I want you all to draw along with me. So first you draw a circle. Then you draw a line dividing the circle into two halves. So the upper portion, we'll name it as the northern hemisphere, and the below portion, we name it as the southern hemisphere. Now this line, we will name it as equator at 0 degree. Above the equator, let's draw another line at 23.5 north and name it as Tropic of Cancer. Below the equator, draw another line at 23.5 south and name it as Tropic of Capricorn. Above the Tropic of Cancer, draw another line at 66.5 north and name it as Arctic Circle. Below Tropic of Capricorn, draw another line at 66.5 south and name it as Antarctic Circle. So children, again I am saying, these are imaginary lines drawn on the earth by the geographers to locate the places on earth. So equator at 0 degree, we have Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 north, we have Tropic of Capricorn at 23.5 degrees south, we have Arctic Circle at 66.5 degree north and Antarctic Circle at 66.5 south. Okay children, now let's summarize to what we have learned and let's learn some keywords. The earth is sphere in shape. Globe. A globe is the accurate model of the earth. It shows the distribution of the land and the water. Axis, an imaginary line that passes through the earth's center on which it spins. The equator divides the earth into two equal halves called as hemispheres: the northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, eastern and western hemisphere. Some of the latitudes are Arctic Circle, Antarctic Circle, Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Now children, I am going to give you an activity. Now this activity you have to do it and you have to take a picture and you have to drop it in your class group. Yes? So what are we actually going to do? We are going to mark the latitudes. So for that we need a plastic ball. So you can either draw with a sketch pen or stick color tapes or color paper and label them as equator, Antarctic Circle, Arctic Circle, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn. So I hope children you all will do this activity and I am really waiting to see those pictures of your activity. So thank you children and let's meet in the next video.